part of the year.
We are finally in baseball season, so go Bucks on that one right there. That's a win.
Yep. Is your office right against the field? Is that where you're at?
Better believe it, boy. You better believe this office is the best. Look, this is my view every day.
Yeah, that's hard to beat right there.
It doesn't suck. I'll tell you that. It is not the worst office set up in Alabama. I'll tell you that for sure.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, so no doubt.
You got to Hoover. Remind me, Adam. 2015.
2015. Yeah. We I was at Grissom for 8 years as the head coach. 11 total, but 8 years as the head coach. That's where it's actually where I went to high school too. So it was a tough decision to make, but we're glad we're here for sure.
Yeah, and then what? A state title like 2-3 years later.
2017. Yeah,
17. Okay.
Yeah.
You have any idea how many? You have any idea how many career wins you have?
It's in the upper 400s. I'm not sure, something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Jeff asked me that the other day, and I was like, because I was bashing him for getting in the Hall of Fame and just how old that makes him. I mean, he's just an ancient human at this point. And so he's like, "You're next." I was like, "You're about to win 500." So I don't know. I have no idea. But
that's funny.
Yeah.
Well, it got to where we were having to keep up with Jeff's. It was like every few weeks it was like, what milestone are we hitting here? And then he gets that Hall of Fame call. How cool was that seeing friends of yours go in?
Man, what's cool is seeing guys. It's cool to see them go into the Hall of Fame, but it's even more cool to see like guys that are like all coaches that are so kind of controlled and just like kind of control every moment. They're in every moment, and then just see them kind of get lost in it. It's really neat because you can just tell it's a big deal. It's an important thing. They deserve. Everyone I know that's been in part of that Hall of Fame deserves it, and to see them be recognized like they should be, and I still have yet to see anybody go in the Hall of Fame and go, "Man, you dang right, I deserve it." Like this is, they're all so thankful, and they've all brought so much to our game. It's like baseball in Alabama wouldn't be where it is without them. And I mean, like I started coaching with Coach Dunn, and at that point, if you were a high level baseball coach, I'm not saying you're the exception, but they weren't always there. Like a lot of times it was still, we'd just get the football guy to go coach, or we'd get whoever to go coach baseball. And every game you play now is against a really well coached team and against good people. And so just baseball has come so far in Alabama because of people like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you mentioned, so like this year, I've got schedule stuff up, but like 7A Area 6, you guys, Hewitt Trustful, Vestavia Hills, and Oak Mountain.
I was having a good day until you had to bring that part up. I mean,
and only two of you get in.
Two of us get in.
Crazy.
Two other state championship level teams won't play, but it's the same. The other area is the same way. You got Thompson, T County, Hillcrest. Hillcrest won 6A last year.
Right.
I can assure you, playing Tuscaloosa County, having done that there in our area for the past several years, is no joke. And then Thompson's clearly extremely good. And then Prattville's got a great coach who's kind of in the middle, making that thing into something really good again. So you got that, and then going north. I mean, what are you going to do? Go north and play Bob Jones? I mean, great. So what stinks, honestly, in the whole deal, one of the things that not bothers me, but I wish they would have improved is the vote was up for all 32 teams in 7A to make the playoffs, and I really think in our sport specifically. With so few games that do count in the regular season, I just think that would have made a whole lot of sense. I haven't talked to anybody who disagreed with it, at least not like in a crazy way disagreed with it. I just think it would make a ton of sense. So.
I think so too. Well, I mean, especially 7A. I mean, there's only 32 teams, and you're letting in half. And I mean, I'm looking at some of these areas. Like, I mean, I'm obviously a little partial to this Area 6 because it's crazy, but I mean. all of these areas. I mean, you're leaving out teams that could easily make a run. I mean, you even look at, I mean, we say the same thing about football. Now, football gets a little more top heavy than baseball, probably, but either way, like I would love to see all 32 in both sports in 7A, and then even okay, this is me wanting to take it even further, and then almost have like this is my pie in the sky. Okay. I would love if there was some sort of system, kind of like the BCS. So you put in some factors, remove the human element, and then all 1 through 32 are seeded and ranked based on that system.
I think that's really, really doable. Like if you talk to people in other states, like let's take California for example, they actually divide up Division 1 through Division whatever. I think there are 7 also, but it's based on recent performance and schedule strength. They have kind of a metric they put together, and so you could be if you're Division 1, which is the best, it's because you're the best baseball teams. It's the 30 whatever best baseball teams. But if they've got that part figured out and it's different in different sports, I'm positive we could put together some sort of metric that takes into account, record, strength of schedule, et cetera, and then seeds 1 through 32. And it would be, I would think, just slightly less well received than the College Football Playoff Committee was.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, is the hang up with stuff? I mean, people are hard to change. Rules are hard to change. Formats are hard to change. Is the main thing you think like the travel? Like, is that the?
No, I think you can take the travel out of the equation. That reasoning from back in the day out of the equation. I really think it's just it takes a while to change. I had a good friend tell me one time on the HSA like rules committee. He said it just kind of takes 3 years. It's like hey, the first year you may think it's a good idea, but and it might have even been voted in, but it seems like it just takes 2 or 3 years to get it established. And I know to their defense, the HSA kind of runs on 2-year increments, with big rule changes, and they like to do things, put in a big new rule the same time they change the areas up and everything and the classifications. And so, or at least that's my impression of it. So that's why I think we all thought we had a real chance at this time, because this is the first year of the new area classifications, but they didn't see it that way. So yeah, it would be, I would much rather be going to play Jeff Malden the last week of the regular season or a Jamie Harris the second week of the regular season of area play the regular season. Yeah. Knowing, look, if we have a bad week, that just means we may travel the first round of the playoffs versus we have a bad week, we're not in the playoffs anymore.
Exactly. Well, it's like, you think about it, with baseball, certainly with basketball as well. Like I'm looking over here at y'all's schedule, and it's like y'all start things on Valentine's Day, and then you don't play an area game till March 31st.
100%. That's correct. So
a month and a half of baseball that for the postseason doesn't matter.
That does not matter one bit. You could go, let's say most teams get at least 30 games in, or right around 30 games by the time area play starts. You could be 30-0, and it doesn't matter. Yeah. That part kind of stinks. And it creates a lot of problems for coaches too, because, you can schedule hard, you can schedule easy, but how the parents in your program take it is how they're going to take it. And they may be thinking that everything's great and fine and dandy, and they don't have any idea that you're about to play, the SEC West or whatever you want to call it of high school baseball. Our parents know because they've been involved in it. I'm sure the other parents in our area do as well. But it's just it's a tough deal, and but it lets you kind of coach to the. At the end of the day, are you coaching what really matters in life, or are you trying to win and lose? And because it's so hard around here, I actually think it even magnifies more the that you need to coach to what are you creating young men? Are you creating people are going to be valuable contributors to society in the future? That takes on even more of a magnifying effect because, like we said, it could end really quickly for these kids.
Yep. Well, that's what we're losing sight of it day by day, but that's what high school sports are all about.
You better believe it. I mean, in Hoover, I can tell you after the past year we've had, it's been an absolute reminder of that. But it is you know, if you the people, I will say this about baseball coaches. Most of the baseball coaches I know are great at that exact aspect of it, especially in the over the mountain area. They're coaching the whole human and not just trying to win or lose a baseball game. And I really can't think of many that I would say, man, I don't know if they're doing that or not. They just truly are.
Yeah. How do you get back into this state title mix?
How do we get back into it?
Yeah,
man. I think you got to win games that matter, but I don't think it's any different than it ever has been. I think you got to pitch and play defense. Pitching and playing defense wins the biggest games. The great offensive juggernauts that have been out there. When you look at, Bob Jones had some really, really good offensive teams in the past. Vestavia's had some really good offensive teams. We did, et cetera. But the state championship games aren't 12-2. They're 6-4, and you got the error at whatever position that led to the runner getting on, or that let the run score, or whatever, that comes back and bites you. And I think you got to pitch and play defense first. And I mean, just look at our area. It's highly likely that at least 90% of the pitches thrown in area baseball games will be thrown by guys who will be playing on a college baseball roster next year.
No doubt about
nuts.
It.
That is nuts.
That's crazy.
And a lot of them are on Division I rosters. So that is straight bananas how talented it is around here. And it's that way in a lot of places. But in 7A, like, you're not going to go to the finals and go, hey, man, here comes the guy throwing 81 miles an hour right down the heart every time, like with a bunch of guys who can't play defense. Like, you're going to have to earn every bit of it. And so I think that you got to pitch and play defense is where it's got to start.
Is that like, give me the roster rundown. What are this 2025 team? What are some of the strengths and weaknesses and that kind of thing?
Well, I would say that the first strength that we have based on our experiences from over the past calendar year is there's a tremendous amount of resiliency and grit with our kids, and a tremendous amount of love for each other. Just because we've had some of the most heartbreaking situations you can have. So that if you're starting with the intangibles and your intangibles are good, I like where that part is for the Bucks. We have guys that can throw it hard and have got good stuff. And if they will throw it 60 feet 6 inches over that white pentagon, we got a shot. But every once in a while, you kind of seem to forget where that thing's located. But and then I think we will defend it. And I know it sounds like I'm saying, well, that's what he just said. Is what kind of helps win the state championship. But I do think in those two aspects of it, we bring a lot back. We bring all but 60 innings back on the mound, which is a tremendous amount of innings.
It's a lot.
Out of a team that played a lot of games. So now those innings are going to be pitched by a kid at Sanford this year. So those innings were kind of important. And another kid at Lawson State. So those were big pitches and made by really good people. But we bring a lot back on that regard, and we bring back a decent amount in the field. So I think when it comes to that, that's where we'll start. And offensively, everybody knows about Jackson Wood and Will Adams. Jackson's going to Tennessee, and Will's now recommitted to LSU after being committed to Alabama. So we've got that offensively, but then what we've got is a bunch of seniors who, if your program's doing the right thing, they're going to get better every single year, right? And some guys who are junior college signees and things like that, that you think, okay, if our program's doing the right thing, they're going to be better this year than they were last year, and that could be a really nice thing. And we got some juniors that are really, really pushing them hard. So it's just really competitive here, as you know. There's a lot of kids that try out for baseball here, and so it's fun to watch them compete every day. Honestly.
Yeah. Do y'all have like every year being a new season kind of thing? Like, is there something that y'all I don't want to say theme, but like something y'all focus on more than anything, or is it just kind of rinse repeat?
It's not rinse repeat. No, I think every year takes on a life of its own. We for a long time have been about. We had a thing we called AIM, and adversity initiates momentum, and we kind of wanted to be a group that when things were hard, it made us better, and we wanted to lean into it. And so I would tell you that this year, though, and I am a Tennessee fan in football and basketball. I know that everybody around here, whatever, but baseball, I got to stay away. I love the guys that coach there. Okay. And we see them every year for the SEC tournament here. Yeah. But I'm going to stay neutral in college baseball because we got too many bucks that are playing at too many different levels. And I can imagine me going, man, I hope the Tennessee Vols strike out Sonny DeShera 12 times. Sonny would come right up to me and punch me straight in the face. So I'm going to stay neutral in college baseball. But me bringing them up is that they kind of started saying this is a thing that, and we were saying it before, earlier this year, and then all of a sudden in football they had this motto, and I loved what Bobby Bowden used to do with his program. And he had that quote. He say anybody, anytime, anywhere, and that's kind of who we are. And I would love to actually be able to one time make this statement true, but if you want to line up and play in the parking lot, then let's go. Let's play in the parking lot. And I would love to have a game in a parking lot one time just to prove that I actually could back that statement up. But our schedule. We're going to California to play really good people this year, and we try to play a lot of good people, outside the state and inside the state. Just at the end of the day, it's preparing us for those games that matter in March and April, late March and April. But we really do believe that. Let's go. There's fewer and fewer coaches around that will just literally say, all right, let's go play. And they're not as worried about stacking that record and that kind of stuff. They just want to, let's go play the best opponents. And I would put us in that mix along with some other local coaches who I will not, call out, because then all of a sudden make somebody mad. But, we like playing baseball, and we like playing against good people. So anybody, anytime, anywhere, and let's go see what happens.
Yeah, I'm looking at I see somebody this Santa Margarita Matter Day. Everybody knows them. Where are y'all playing these games in late February?
So we're going to LA, and we're going to go and not so anybody knows about Los Angeles. It's it's huge, and so these aren't the same area where all the fires have been.
Fires, okay.
Yeah, but we play so many tournaments here, we got the perfect game deal. We've got the PBR deal here. I don't care to go play in another major tournament event. We just want to go play on their campuses. And so we're playing all those schools at their campus. Okay. And again, let's bring all your students or whatever it is you do on a normal game day. A lot of times in tournaments you don't have the same atmosphere and things like that. Let's go. I need to have my guys ready to go to Thompson on a Friday night, or to go to Vestavia Hills on a big area game night, or the Hewitt Trust one for their dog pound in left field to be calling Jonah Winston whatever name they want to call him or whatever. I don't need that to be the first time they've experienced that. So, Jonah got all he wanted last year and in football. So he crab leg references all over the place like that.
Oh no!
So I heard a player ask him yesterday. Say, how many times do people say crab legs to you? And he said it's 100%. It's undefeated. Everybody has brought up crab legs to John Winston. So, and he just laughs. This is one of the greatest kids we've ever coached. Kid was nominated for the Finley Award here at Hoover, which is one of the greatest awards you'd be nominated for. And that's the material they've got on it. So let's say crab legs. But the point of me saying that is I want people to put our kids. I want to put our kids in a position where people will challenge them, wherever, to get us ready for those games. It's not fun to go to Oak Mountain. If you're not ready for it, it's not fun to go to Vestavia. It's not fun to go to Hewitt unless you're ready for it. And if you're ready for it, you embrace the moment. You're like, let's go play and see what happens.
Yeah, Jonah, he kind of got the last. I was at that football game. This was the wettest football season I've ever covered. Yes. And we got. I was running. It was right before kickoff. It started drizzling a little bit. I was out there with Jeff Allison from Alabama 6A, Alabama 7A football, and we were at the 50-yard line talking to Coach Floyd. and we ran toward the Hoover sideline, ended up under one of the little tents or whatever. And by the time we got there, I was soaked to the bone, and this is before the game started. And then obviously that game transpired the way it did. It was an ugly game. Both defenses were crazy. But then Jonah was that dude late in the fourth quarter in that 2-minute drill, getting him down the field. Mac was struggling a little bit. And Jonah was that spark plug and gets him down there, and they win the game. And, when I cover games, especially where I'm covering both teams, not so much with baseball or basketball, I'll just find somewhere to sit. But football, I'm up and down the sideline as well. I try to cover one half on one side and one half on the other, so that there's no parent saying, "Oh, he's a Hewitt fan, he's a Hoover fan," whatever. And so I happened to be the second half. I was on Hewitt's side, and I don't know that I've ever seen that level of just complete stun. Like, everybody's looking around like they had 0 points the whole time, and they got this touchdown and then got the 2-point conversion, like just like that. And wait, we lost? Like we lost? Yeah. It was crazy.
He's a tremendous leader, tremendous person, but he's magnetic in a lot of ways. Like, he draws people to him, and then to know that what we talked about already about kind of what he hears when he goes places, and to just kind of be bred like his parents have done a great job raising him to bring him up to handle moments and to handle whatever's thrown at him. And he's going to go play in the SEC or wherever hopefully he's able to find a situation. He wants to play both in college. Yeah. That's hard to do now. Yeah. Hopefully he will find a place. The roster limits are making it even harder, but hopefully he'll find a place that will allow him to do both, because he's got a chance to be exceptional at both sports in college. But it's a magnetic personality, and it's just a lot of times you want to talk about kids and like, would I trust my kids with that kid? John Doe or Bill Doe or whoever it might be.
Yeah,
John would come to my house and help take care of my kids any day of the week, and we have a lot of those kids at Hoover. But he'd definitely be on or at the top of that list.
Is he better at baseball or football?
Well, I'm admittedly one of the least qualified football knowledge people of all time, so I can say I have no idea. I love the baseball field. My football knowledge is real simple. If I play you in Madden or in the college game, we're going to go 4 verts every time. I'm just going to chuck it deep. It would be a lot of fun to watch us play if I was a football coach, because it's going to happen quick. It's either going to be a touchdown or they're going to pick it off and run it back. So,
man, I'm not sure new OC Coach LeBeau is going to be inviting you down onto the field.
Look, he won't be here long if he's like, gosh darn, if they ask my advice in football, that's their own fault. I can tell you that. Like I love what we got going. What he's doing over there. He's doing a good thing.
Yes.
But you would not say the same if he said, "Hey, Adam, come over here and call a few plays." Like, it's not going to work out well for the Bucks.
No. What do you like baseball wise?
Yeah.
Like how do you spend an off season? Like what do you do in preparation? Are you studying something specific? You reading something? I mean, I know you'll go to clinics and stuff like that. What are you doing?
So, in the summer, I've actually coached a travel team the past couple summers, which has been great, but maybe my wife's not as happy about the time being away from home. But when we get back to school, and even some of the summer, there's a lot of studying that'll go on. We try and, one of the great things about college baseball is that it's the next step up, obviously from high school, but most college coaches are overly welcoming to you saying, hey, or like if you say, hey, I want to come, can I come visit you and see what you're doing? And, we'll go find out, okay, who led the country in home runs last year, who's been hitting or whatever. And, sometimes they're hitting because they got great bats. They're a really good equipment manager that gets them the hottest bats in the country. But other times they're hitting because they really coach hitting really well. And so, we'll find that we'll go visit them or go visit, whoever's, doing some pitching stuff that we really like. And that's kind of one of the benefits here is our booster club will help you. I like to visit. I think you learn more visiting than you do just, watching some webinar or something like that. So they'll help us do that. So we do that a lot. And then we do a lot of, our planning is a lot. You got to find out who you got for the year and then try to, tweak what you do based on who you've got for the year. And so there's a lot of that goes on as well. But baseball's just evolved so much over the past, whatever you would call it, this is my 25th year as a coach, and I would say it's maybe changed more in the last 10 years than it had the previous 15, So it's a constantly changing. You get these gurus on Twitter that they know everything about pitching and everything about hitting, and they've never coached a game, but there's value in what they're saying. If you got to kind of tweak it to what you do potentially, but there might be some value in that. So you got to kind of massage that versus, the college guy who just can recruit, great players versus the college guy who's really developing talent. And then there's even pro guys, the pro game has changed so much lately that now they're teaching much more than, it used to be in pro ball. They would just roll you out a schedule and go, hey man, single A this year. If you're hot, we'll move you to double A. But now it's all analytics and all the things. And there's some real value in that for us at a more basic level, but we try to learn how to implement all that stuff too.
Man, so is that main change is just the introduction and of analytics and how big of a deal it's taken on?
It is, because in the analytics world, you're trying to measure everything and prove it with a number, right? That's right. The basis of the whole deal, whether it's, ball flight metrics or pitch metrics or whatever it might be. But some of those guys kind of want to get away from, there's the scout who's done it for 100 years or however long he's done it, and his eyes can tell you that guy's a good player and that guy's not. But that's not a quantifiable thing for a general manager, So the scout, the new age guys want to measure why is he not good, and the old guys man, I can tell he's not very good, and so we don't need to take, or this guy's a first rounder or whatever it might be. There's some sort of marriage in there that you got to kind of keep looking for as a coach, as a head coach for sure, but. The metrics and the data and the analytics they're so awesome. We've got the ability to do some of that stuff here, and other places do too. But when your kids are every ball they hit, they're turning around and asking how hard that came off the bat, or they finally learn hey, that was pretty good, that one wasn't. It takes all the rose-colored glasses out of the equation. You go, Coach, I hit that good, and Coach says, you know what, brother? No, you did. It's 55 miles an hour off the bat. So no, that was not good. And then they'll say, well, look, it landed where there wouldn't be a player. And I'm like, well, great, but you're not going to be able to do that from the bench, okay? You got to hit it a little harder than that to get in the game. So there's some real positives to it.
Yeah, a little better exit velocity than 55 miles an hour.
Yeah, no doubt. Coach, but I kind of felt good. Well, buddy, you don't know what I guess you just don't know what it feels like to hit a ball well off the bat.
Oh, so, that'd be so savage to hear.
55, man. Let's go. Well, one of the best teaching tools is if you got it, we have a thing called the Acrotech here that can measure how far they hit it or how hard they hit it, how far, all the stuff. Just put a monitor up there, let them see, or the computer screen. Just let them look at it and go. They'll hit and look. Oh no, they just oh yeah, that was good. What is 100 miles an hour, whatever it might be. So great teacher in a lot of ways.
No kidding. So season starts on Valentine's Day?
Yeah, it's an interesting deal, isn't it? Yeah, great planning by us, huh?
Is it like that for most? I haven't looked at a lot of schedules. Everybody starts around the same time. But
yeah. I think you can technically start the 13th, but we're in that PBR event on the 14th, and a lot of the good teams in Birmingham are in, and really from around the state, a lot of them are in, and that's just the way the calendar fell. If you're a coach's wife, and you kind of know,
you get it.
Whether you get it or not, this is what's about to go down. I don't know. Maybe I'll bring my wife some. We don't have dirt anymore, so just some turf pellets in a cup and say, Happy Valentine's Day instead of a rose or something. Who knows?
Well, I'm looking on Instagram and these. I mean, okay, graphics are super cool.
Sure.
Love graphics. Pure Game, they do a great job.
Everybody does a great. Hey, look, I teach economics. Pure Game's got a monopoly going right now. It's kind of they're killing.
No kidding, and their stuff is super cool. The logos, the photos, all of that. Help us old folks with the text. Make the text a little bigger so I can read it.
Are you calling? I mean, you saying you got a pair of these? Is that what you got? One of these right here?
Oh yeah, they're downstairs. Yeah, I've got the contacts in. But like, am I right that first game in that PBR is against Chelsea at, is it 4:00?
It's at 4:00, and then right after is Central Phoenix City against Hartselle, I believe. And so, like, you get in that event, you get all you want. Like, whether it's at multiple places, but not all, but a lot of the good teams are playing in that event. If you like high school baseball and you want to see a lot of people, go watch some of those games, because like nobody's pitching their guys the whole game, right? Like their own pitch count. So you're going to see a whole bunch of people get in games and things like that. It's a really good event for sure.
Well, I was thinking that if it was at 4 p.m., you still had time afterward for Valentine's Day to go somewhere. But
that's fair. That's fair. I mean, like, we could. Super Chicks is right down the road.
Dude,
Arby's right there. It'd be quick, easy.
There you go.
Look, man, we've got 4 kids, so the concept of like pre-planning special days outside of a birthday, it's gone. Like,
it's gone.
And 3 of my kids. So my oldest is a sophomore here. She plays volleyball here and plays club volleyball. All right, but there's a lot there. My middle one's a 7th grader. Middle daughter is 7th grader. She plays club soccer. A lot going on there. And she played school volleyball in the fall. My youngest one, we thought, okay, well, she didn't want to play any team sports. She decided gymnastics was for her. They practice more than anybody. Okay?
Yeah.
So, and we got events for that. So we got those 3. And my son is about to turn 4. And at least by when the fall hits, I believe we're playing T-ball. So that'd be 4 different things. So, like, when you got all that, we kind of like high five each other in the morning. Hey, honey, good to see you, and I hope to see you sometime this afternoon or evening. That's the way it goes.
Hope y'all got a couple of really dependable motor vehicles.
Well, yeah, we do. And that, embarrassingly enough, I've got a minivan. So I swore I would never be that guy, but the one like caveat I had when we got that, we got tinted windows on the front so nobody could see me driving it. So there you go. That was about it.
Well, like, it's funny how things change with age, because like we only have 1 kid, but like I see like sometimes like the stuff you have to take or the stuff you come home with, and just wanting a little bit of space even while you're in the car, to not feel like the walls are closing in a little bit. And I'm like, we could have a minivan and we could fit everything. There would be no like, well, we can't bring this on vacation because we don't have enough space in this mid-size SUV. Like, just get the van, throw it all in it.
Let me give you a hint. It doesn't matter what size vehicle you guys, can be full. If your wife is like mine, the vehicle's gonna be full. If your kids, like if y'all have more kids or whatever, if they're like mine, mine, they know how much they can fit in there. And even if they don't need to take it, they're taking it just to have it. So
just because there's space.
We look like the Jeffersons or whoever, like it is just spilling out everywhere when we get out of a vehicle, like a clown car or something. It's crazy.
That's hilarious. Well, I had to say, we are. This will come out after this, but me and my wife are having a date day tomorrow, and we're going to do several things. And we initially had a reservation at a certain place, and we since canceled it because one day recently we were over in Hoover, and we went to. We wanted to go to a pizza place, and we wanted to go. And we were like, we're not going to Pizza Hut or something. We were like, there's plenty in Hoover. Let's find something we haven't been to. And I Googled Hoover Pizza. That's all I did. And the first place that popped up was Grimaldi's.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
I have. It's pretty good, man.
I thought it was fantastic.
No, yeah, it's like you're kind of Hoover. You're kind of in a little bit of a fight there because if you like the New York, you go Grimaldi's. If you want the Chicago style deep dish, you go to Tortugas.
Yeah,
and, like
I know about Tortugas. I'm not the deep dish guy. I'd much rather have the New York.
Then you don't need to be anywhere near but
no.
Grimaldi's is it's pretty good, man.
Yeah, we were in there like because we brought our son there too, obviously, and we were both just like, "Is this excellent?" Like,
yes, it is. It's
like we're gonna
just a one-time thing.
Yeah, so we're going back tomorrow.
Outstanding. That
man.
If you need any food recommendations over here, we can get you taken care of. Best burger, everything. Like we can get you all.
Where's the best burger?
JJ's Grocery. Over there in Best. Yeah, that place is still the best. Yeah. Like the old gas station that's closed.
Yeah.
Like it's not a gas station anymore. So that place, man, that's the best burger. Now that Green Valley Drugs closed, if Green Valley Drugs was open, it'd still be, a fight. But then you got the I don't remember the name of it, but there's one. It's a chain, but it's they kind of sell some unique burgers too. So I give you all of them. Whatever kind of food you want, I'll tell you the best one we go to. Big fan of eating.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff I like to find out. Sometimes I'll base my playoff trips, what game I go to based on like what I can hit on the way.
Best tacos, best Mexican. We give you all of them. We
all of it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Are the Braves going to stay healthy this year?
Jeez. Probably not. Actually, probably so, because everybody's going to be loving the Mets and the Phillies coming in, and then that'll be the kind of year that they all of a sudden, catch fire and go bananas. I think they still need another arm, but like I honestly can't believe they let Kyle Wright out the door. I love that dude, and I was surprised that they didn't find a way to make that work. Or honestly, Max Fried, but Max Fried got a lot of money. He got paid.
Yeah, he was. You knew it like mid-season. You were like, he's gone.
Yeah.
They've had all those. They've had all those like arbitration fights in the past that have gone to the last second. It was like he's gone when this contract's up.
Yeah, no doubt. That, I hope whether they're healthy or not is one thing, but I hope when they get a runner at second, nobody out in the 8th or 9th inning in a tie game, that maybe somebody will finally convince Mr. Schnitker, who he sticks to his guns. So I'm not complaining. I get it. I mean, can we do one of the? Can we put one of these down one time? Just
what is that? I don't know what that is with the Braves.
Yeah, I know, but I would love to see it. It'd be awesome. I mean, now granted, they score a lot of runs, and his method is. I mean, he won a World Series, which is something I hadn't done. So more power to him. Just me personally, I would love to see him do it every once in a while.
Just a little small ball. Just mix it up a little bit.
See. You never know.
When they that last day of the regular season when they had to have that doubleheader against the Mets, and it was the whole like you had to split. If they split, both the Mets and the Braves got in. If the Braves had won both, Braves were in, Mets were out, and vice versa. Me and Kyle drove over and went to that day. Yeah. And that I had never been to an MLB doubleheader before. That is the longest I've ever spent in a baseball stadium.
That's a lot. It's that used to be the thing too, and I wish they would do that more often. But there are worse places to spend a doubleheader though than Truist. That place is about as good as it gets.
Yeah, it's I'm old. I'm still partial to Turner just because I like the ease of the in and out.
Yeah, you're there.
You're parking in Old Fulton County Stadium, just massive lot, and 85's right there. True, it's the parking's kind of a nightmare. Now, once you're parked and you're in the vicinity, you can't beat it with the battery and everything else. But man, that in and out is woof.
It's a lot. They advertised how good the garages were going to be and all that kind of stuff. I still have yet to park in the garage since I've been there. Anytime I go there, we just park on the street somewhere in somebody's lot, pay them $20 or $30 and be done with it. So
like over at the hotel across the street, and you walk over the interstate. Yeah,
no doubt. So it's a good move for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
well,
Yeah.
hopefully they'll be healthy this year, and
Yeah, I think that they'll be in the mix. There's no doubt about that.
yeah,
It'll be fun.
yeah. Anthopoulos has always got something up his sleeve, so I'm just kind of waiting to see what that's going to be. And like you, I hope it's another arm or two.
Yeah, and I can see him figuring out where they're going to be, 2-3 months into the season, and then he's got some pieces he can move at that point. I could.
Yeah,
That's kind of the strategy most people use, honestly. Anyways, right now, like
sure.
just be in the mix 2 or 3 months into the season, and then okay, we got a hole here. What we thought was good, weakness is a strength, and now let's fill this weakness. They go trade some pieces, and they've got pieces to move around for sure.
For sure.
Yeah,
cool. And hopefully by then, Andrew Jones will be in the Hall of Fame where he belongs.
Him and Billy Wagner both. I'm mind blown that Billy Wagner. But this needs to happen. Like, this is easy, and I know closers. They there's not a lot of them in there, but that guy, doggone,
he had gas.
Yeah.
What would Billy Wagner? Because I know he played on multiple teams. What would he go in as?
That's a good question. I don't know, because this is it too. I think this is the last year for him.
Yeah. He was on the Astros the longest, so probably, and then he was on the Phillies for a couple years, Mets a few, then Red Sox for one, and Braves for one. So probably an Astro, 8-9 years.
You would think, yeah, probably so. And that guy, when he came in, it was done. The game was over. See you later. So
yeah. Well, yeah, he was 7-time All-Star. He was an All-Star. Let's see, he was an All-Star like 3 years with the Astros. He's already in the Astros Hall of Fame. Yeah, he'd go in with an H on his hat.
Yeah, there you go. I like it. That makes sense to me. He should. So, but I got to point something. I noticed you are repping what could possibly be the greatest cinematic feature of all time on your shirt right now. I mean, like, that is. There's not a lot of people that go there these days, and I think I can still quote the whole thing, but that's one of the top movies of all time right there. So
I love it. I love finding shirts like this that I can wear on this. It gives it a little something different,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm still working on a few pounds to get off, because I've got shirts like I've got some home improvement, like TV show shirts now. I've got home improvement that's got Wilson on it.
Yeah.
I've got one with Mr. Feeney on it from Boy Meets World. I'm just trying to keep it vintage and wholesome at the same time.
There you go. In the spirit of your shirt, I think when you go on this date with your wife to get pizza, I think you need to be Abe Froman from the Sausage King of Chicago when you check in. When they ask for your name,
I should.
I'm Abe Froman. There we go.
I should, because I don't think they take reservations, and I know if they do, we haven't made one. So I should just say
Great game to play. Just when they ask for your name, give them a name that is absolutely not true, just for fun. Like, it's as good as it gets. And just how wild can you make the name and see if people recognize it? Like Ken Adams is a good one for me. I'll just be, Ken Adams, Joe Tribbiani's friends.
Ken Adams.
And then they call him like right here. So it's always good. So try Barack. Go in there and say you're Barack one time and just watch people react. Like like it's awesome. It's just random names just for fun.
That would be. Now I'm gonna sit here and think of names, like, for real.
Yeah,
like,
there you go. It's a great game to play just to see what. Because they're not checking your ID.
No.
And just see what kind of reaction what did he just say? It's fun. It's very good.
I'll let you know tomorrow what name I use.
I look forward to the reaction, whatever the reaction is when you do.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I appreciate you doing this, Coach.
Yeah, man. This is good. I like that the fact you're doing it is good, and I've seen you do obviously a lot of talks to a lot of different guys, but anytime we start bringing a little more, I guess, attention to high school baseball is a good thing as far as I'm concerned. So
I've had you, I've had Jeff. I had Jeff, I think, just the once on here, maybe so far.
You mean when he was when he got the award that certified how old he is? Is that?
Yeah. I made him talk about himself for an hour. He loved it. Yeah.
So good. I mean, just as a reminder that the Hall of Fame goes to old people. So
he did say he was surprised that he got the call because he was like, I'm still coaching. Well,
yeah, well, I mean, it is what it is. He's an old coach, is what he is. So
we'll have to save that clip for when you get in down the road.
I don't know that that's happening. We'll see. Who knows? So,
sounds good. Well, I appreciate you, Coach, for real. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. And look, during the year, if you need anything, just let me know. Okay.
Sounds good. Thanks, Coach.
Talk to you later.
Bye.